was a packed house this week at Mitchell City Hall for the regular scheduled Mitchell City Council meeting. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, it was not property taxes or the budget that drew the full crowd at this week's Mitchell City Council meeting, but reports swirling around social media that Mayor Dave Curtis wanted to close off Center Avenue as part of downtown revitalization. All of the residents who spoke on the topic during open comments expressed opposition to the idea, and many objected to an agenda item that would have authorized an expenditure for engineered drawings of potential downtown development. Curtis explained the council had met to hash out a few ideas in what was meant to be the first of a series of gatherings on the subject.
One of the things that I'm accused of doing was one of several concepts that we were just kicking around. It was just me and my city administrator. And somehow that got out. Next thing, this is what I am doing. And that is not true. It is one of a couple of things.
A number of speakers took the mayor to task for the manner in which the process had been handled, with Jeremiah Gardner saying it should be the residents that hold a town hall to brainstorm ideas.
We have a group of people that honestly want to make this happen, which should make you happy. How do we go from here? I think it's going to be us having to take the reins, come up with some ideas and present them to you guys, and then we can move forward. Because then you'll have the support of your people. When you just try to, and this isn't what I'm saying you did, it just appears this way, that it's just a dictatorship and you guys are just doing things behind closed doors, that's how we feel right now.
Ultimately, the council decided to take the expenditure authorization off the table, and community members added their names to a list to organize a meeting in the near future to discuss their visions for the downtown area. Well, Gering High School has launched a new public safety academy to provide a select number of students with an in-depth understanding and opportunity to experience the inner workings of the local public safety entities and organizations. Assistant Principal Mario Chavez says 6 students will be spending time with a wide range of agencies to maximize their internship.
And has since evolved into 11 agencies and organizations. Really, the objective of our mission is to provide our students with a understanding of the full scope of public safety and all the players that come to the table, not just police, fire, but also the court system, the advocacy piece, HHS, Doves, CASA, all those organizations that law enforcement and fire work with on a daily basis. We wanted to kind of highlight those as well and give our kids a full experience of what it's like to be in the public safety realm. So,
leaders say that bringing in a total of 11 different partner organizations will help provide a large scope of perspectives for these students considering a career in public safety. We will go more in depth on this story during tomorrow's newscast. Well, coming up after the break, Bill Boyer's in with your Thursday evening forecast. I'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we believe it shouldn't cost you money to access your money. That's why we offer free ATMs anytime, anywhere. Whether you are across town or traveling abroad, there won't be an added expense to access the funds in your Platte Valley Bank account. Free ATMs are just one of the great benefits of banking with us. Stop by to talk to one of our friendly associates to discuss what else Platte Valley Bank has to offer.
At Renewal by Andersen, it's about our people. We're a family-owned local company with the best windows, patio doors, and installation teams anywhere. But before our customers ever get to installation, they speak with our advisors in the office. We are so proud of our people. They're very experienced, organized, and at Renewal by Andersen, we know that our customers' time is so valuable. We assure you signature service from the first phone call to the installation day. Renewal by Andersen, a local family company. It's about our people.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, pretty quiet here across the area as we go through the evening hours. Temperatures going to fall down into the 80s and eventually the 70s. Hopefully down into the 50s by the time we get up tomorrow morning. Another comfortable night, but boy, one more scorcher coming tomorrow and really going to be hot again on Saturday too before temps moderate a little bit. Looking cooler next week and still little to no precip out there. Maybe an isolated storm this weekend. Yesterday we hit 89 after a morning low of 47 comfortable degrees. Still nothing in the rain gauge as we continue to pile on our deficit for the month and year. Temperatures here early this evening in the 80s in central and eastern Nebraska. We're in the warm part of the country here with 90s across most of the panhandle and eastern portions of Wyoming. 93 to 95 covers most everybody. Chadron at 96 degrees. Winds out of the northwest under 15 miles an hour. It's a pretty quiet evening, and there's not much going on in the severe weather threat for today nationwide. That continues for tomorrow here in our region. And then as we get into Saturday, only slight chances of thunderstorms, but it doesn't look like anything coming in the way of severe weather. As you're getting on that bus tomorrow, it's going to be sunny to start the morning off. Temperatures in the low 50s, and on the way home, just downright hot. Highs in the upper 90s. It's going to be a very warm night for high school football tomorrow night as well. Very clear. That's really all you need to know tonight. It is nothing doing out there. Lots of stars, the moon, nothing else going on. Calm to light winds and pretty mild temperatures overnight down into the 50s. Probably keep most of us out of the 40s overnight tonight. Now tomorrow we start the day with some sun. We bring in a few clouds later on during the afternoon. They're not going to help much. Maybe obscure the sun for a little bit, maybe make it feel not quite as hot, but it is going to be downright hot tomorrow. We've got record highs on the table for tomorrow, well into the 90s and 100s out there. Many of us looking to break records at 100, 101, 102. Not out of the question tomorrow. If you don't get to 100, it'll be upper 90s, which is certainly close enough, and obviously no precip coming the next couple of days. All clear tonight, lows down around 52 for tomorrow. A record high temperature in the books for us at 102 if we get to that high temperature. It looks very hot out there, and then we're going to cool off into the mid-90s on Saturday, upper 80s on Sunday and Monday. Then finally by Tuesday of next week, we fall into the mid-70s, getting back in the mid and upper 80s Wednesday and Thursday. All in all, a very warm forecast over most of the next 7 days.
It's that ducky time of year again. The 24th Annual United Way of Western Nebraska Rubber Duck Draw is Saturday, September 18th at the 18th Street Plaza in downtown Scottsbluff. Grand prize is a 2021 Toyota RAV4 from Team Auto Center. Second place, a 2021 Honda Pioneer 520 side-by-side from Sandberg Honda, plus 38 other exciting prizes. Adopt your duck today for just $10 at Team Auto Center, First State Bank, Main Street Market, the United Way office, or online this year at uwwn.org/duck.
Some people think Allstate only protects your car. Here's the truth. Allstate can also protect your home or apartment, as well as your boat, motorcycle, RV, and snowmobile, and even your retirement and your life. Not many insurance companies can say that, but Allstate can.
Bundle and save with Allstate. In Gering, call Allstate agent Michael Engelhop for a quote today at 308-436-2123.
Welcome back. A 44-year-old Gering man has been sentenced to prison following his February arrest at a Gering convenience store. Billy Jack Little Spotted Horse was sent to prison this morning following his August conviction of possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. Court records say on February 2nd, he attempted to cash in a stolen lottery ticket at the Stagecoach stop on M Street. The clerk told police after she scanned the ticket, she received a call from the Lottery Commission that the ticket was stolen, and in addition, they were looking for a stolen truck and firearm as well. Gering police made contact with Little Spotted Horse, who advised the stolen pistol was in his jacket, and he had stolen the firearm and a purse from Cheyenne County. On August 27th, he was sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison on the firearm charge and received 206 days credit for time already served. Well, the number of virus cases in Nebraska continued their steady climb last week as the highly contagious Delta variant of the coronavirus spreads. According to data from the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Nebraska reported 5,649 new virus cases last week for the 11th straight week of increases. The state was reporting 253 cases per week in late June when officials declared an end to the state virus emergency. State health officials also refused to reconsider their opposition to a mask mandate in Douglas County. And locally, the Director of International Programs and Innovation at the Global Center for Health Security at UNMC says the case rate for COVID in the Panhandle is likely higher than current statistics indicate. During Tuesday's Panhandle COVID update, Dr. James Lawler said part of the reason is a significant lapse in availability and accessibility of testing, and recounted his recent trip to the area when it took hours and several calls to get a test for a grad student.
The reality is there probably aren't a lot of people getting tested who would otherwise get tested in a place like Omaha or Lincoln or Denver. And so the data we're getting out of many of the rural areas of Nebraska, and I think the Panhandle specifically, is probably a pretty significant lowball of the real numbers of cases that are out there. And so the data, I think, are a little bit hard to rely on when you're having that much difficulty getting tests.
Lawler says, for example, nearby counties in surrounding states showing much higher daily rates would suggest the 33 cases per day per 100,000 for Scottsbluff County is probably low. Vaccination rates in the Panhandle stands at 34.8%, while active hospitalizations in the region have risen to 17. Well, coming up after the break, Chris Cottrell with the latest from the world of sports. I'll have that right after the break here on KNEB.TV News.
My name is Angela and I'm with Linger Industrial Services. There's a huge technology part in metal just with all the programs we use, running the scale and paying people, all the software. He does 24/7 ransomware monitoring, making sure the programs run smoothly, making sure everything's running properly. So it's nice to have Jeremy there to call when things go wrong. He's always there right away. He's, within 30 minutes he shows up.
ERH Technology Solutions, we make technology work for you.
Morrill County Community Hospital and the behavioral health providers are here to help. Amber Dean specializes in mental health care, which includes medication and therapy across a person's lifespan. Melody Lacey helps people deal with a wide range of behavioral problems, from depression and anxiety to child psychiatry. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time. At Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska. Exceptional care right here at home.
In boots, new and old, you've walked the rows of life, a fence length of time. You fought the floods, snow, and sweltering heat, and lifted breathing and settled pain. With a smile and a cry, you've strengthened your community and future generations. Sometimes with nothing to say. Often can't say enough. Like, let me do it again.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
Sports for a bigger cause, plus plenty of games, activities, and action coming up for the weekend. Welcome in to today's update here on KNEB.TV. We start with some fall softball for WNCC. The Cougars are playing some home scrimmages this weekend, with the games taking on a much bigger meaning. Head coach Katie Groves explains who and what these scrimmages are all about.
Yeah, so this weekend we're going to play for a three-year-old boy out of Wichita, Kansas, that was diagnosed with Rose-Dorfman disease. It's a rare disease that affects the white blood cells and how they collect and basically create small tumors inside your body. And that 3-year-old little boy happens to be my nephew. And right now he's currently going under treatment for chemotherapy for the next 2 years of his life to help treat this and combat it and hopefully keep it from spreading to other lymph nodes in his body. So thankfully my team was all on board for this and super excited, and we're going to try and raise some money for their family to help support and all the tests and everything else that he's got to go through over the next however long of his life.
Admission will be $1. That money will go towards the family of the youngster. Plus, they'll be taking donations as well both days, and you can visit the Cougar softball social media pages to find the GoFundMe link to make a donation there. Games start at 2 on Saturday and then again at 11 in the morning on Sunday over at Volunteer Field. What about the football for tomorrow night? We're going to have both games here on KNEB.TV. Let's start with the big one at Bearcats Stadium. Scottsbluff hosting Aurora. The Bearcats got a 40-0 win. They whitewashed Hastings last week on the road, but a different animal arrives in town tomorrow night. Aurora, yes, they are 0-2, but they've lost a quality, top-notch competition already through 2 weeks this season. They were the preseason #1 in Class B for a reason, according to Scottsbluff head coach Judd Hall.
That opinion of their football team and what they're doing in Aurora has not changed. They are still a top 3, top 4 team in Class B without a doubt. They've just played a very challenging schedule to start. You know, they played North Platte, a team in Class A who I think is going to win at least 1, maybe 2 games in Class A playoffs. And then lost to Bennington, who just by watching the other teams in Class B right now, they're definitely the best team in Class B early in the season.
Now for Gering, it's their home opener as they entertain 0-3 Hastings. Gering, their record 1-1 after taking one on the chin at Grand Island Northwest last Friday night. You know, both teams looking at this one as one they need to get in the win column. We check in with Danny O'Boyle, the Gering coach, for some keys for his Dogs.
We've got to use physicality to our strength tonight, and that's something that we didn't do last week. So we've got to get back to going forward on both sides of the ball. We have to be the ones that are initiating contact. We just can't have mental mistakes. We've got to be sound in our technique, and we've got to know our assignments.
Again, both games tomorrow on KNEB.TV, so that means the Strive channels for both Scottsbluff and Gering schools. The Scottsbluff game on Allo Channel 15, Mobius 1500. The Gering game on Allo Channel 190. You will not find the games tomorrow night on the KNEB YouTube channel. Big weekend for high school softball in town. The Twin Cities Invite. You see the games for tomorrow. All of those games on Friday for tomorrow will be at Scottsbluff, and then all the action on Saturday will be at Oregon Trail Park in Gering for the varsity teams. Scottsbluff and Gering, they'll play the late game tomorrow. Those two squads have combined 25-4 so far this season on the diamond. And we'll wrap up with WNCC volleyball as they continue with their barrage of road matches to open their season. 2 in Sterling this weekend. Chuck Schwartz going to have both on KOZY 1013. The Cougars have played basically a national tournament level schedule every weekend so far to start the season. That will do it for today. Our latest from right here at the FNBO Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell. We'll come back with more with Ryan right after this on KNEB.TV.
New looks and new decor can be found at Compliments for You and Your Home. Check out the newest styles from Tribal, Charlie B, Ethel, and more. Compliments also has the shoes, purses, and jewelry for any occasion. Plus, right now, get 20% off all clearance apparel. While here, take a look at our solar lights and felt birdhouses. Finally, visit our newest addition, Katie Chandler and her salon. All this at Compliments for You and Your Home, 1708 Broadway, downtown Scottsbluff.
The 5055E from John Deere features the value of choice with a cab or open station, two-wheel drive or mechanical front-wheel drive, and transmission options, in addition to easy-to-use controls and loader compatibility. All of this is backed with a 5-year powertrain warranty. The only thing easier than owning a 5E is operating one. See your John Deere dealer for details.
Visit 21st Century Equipment with locations in Scottsbluff, Torrington, Bridgeport, and Alliance. Developing solutions, delivering success.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
At Platte Valley Bank, we realize the way people want to bank in the future may be different than it has been. As comfort levels and desires vary by person, banking may be different for some, yet not for others. We offer the best of both worlds, a traditional banking experience with our friendly tellers and an online or mobile banking option with features that you can personalize and utilize anytime, anywhere you go. So you can bank how you want, when you want, and from where you want to. Platte Valley Bank.
And finally tonight, members of the public had the chance to learn more about 2 different ideas for a complete overhaul of the Nebraska tax system during a town hall in Scottsbluff Tuesday night at the Midwest Theater. Following presentations on the Blueprint Nebraska plan and the EPIC consumption tax proposal, Jim Smith with Blueprint Nebraska said their plan is not modeled specifically on what other states have done to become more business friendly and attract more people.
We're looking at the industries inside of our borders, and we are modeling how our citizens, our families, and our businesses will respond to changes in our tax code. But with that said, what we are proposing is much in line with how the good performing states are handling revisions to their tax code.
On the EPIC plan, Senator Steve Erdman of Bayard said local governments and schools would be funded by submitted budgets to the county, with the state spending sales and use tax receipts back to the counties for distribution. Following presentations on both proposals, Erdman was asked how local governments and schools would be funded and said while spending limits would remain, the rest of the budgetary process would be simplified.
They will submit their budget to the county would submit one budget, 93 budgets to the state would then write a check back to the county, it would be distributed through the treasurer's office just like they are now. And I would hope that we'll have an opportunity for them to be able to do their own personal consumption tax or their own local consumption tax or bond issues. That is the initiative, that's the position we've taken. So if you have a bond issue on your school, you can have a vote of the people and put a consumption tax in place to pay for the bond on your school.
Erdman said backers of the plan would also hope that a local consumption tax would also be approved so voters could decide when local schools seek to fund bonds to pay for items such as new construction. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.